Okay, Shalawam. I'm back. I wanna go into. We're gonna read Second Peter's 2 and 4. Second Peter's 2 and 4. For if the Most High spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. So we've been going over this, and I want to look at it. Says, because it says the angels that sin. So I've showed you previously, if you go to 1 John 3 and 4, this is sin. Whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. Right? So sin is the transgression of the law. So we have to look at who was the law given to. Because the angels going to follow what the Most High say. They're going to reverence him. Many scriptures shows that. So Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Let's go there. Who's the law given to? Psalms 147 and 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, the punishments for breaking his laws, it says they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High, right? So the laws were given to we, the children of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel. So and we in the judgment of the Most High right now, if anyone, because when you look at, let me get Second Esdras in the Apocrypha, the 8th chapter, the 21st verse. See about these angels. Second Esdras 8 and 21 says, whose throne, this is the Most High's throne, powers from the throne, whose throne is inestimable, cannot be measured, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the host of angels stand with trembling. So, I don't know why people can give any entity more power than the Most High. There's no angels doing whatever they want to do. The Most High controls, they reverence this, and it told you, go back to not only the Most High, but go back to Hebrews, the 1st chapter. Hebrews, the 1st chapter. And we can look at verse 6. It says, and again, when he bringeth in the first begotten, like you read in John 3:16, for the Most High so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. And again, when he bringeth in the first begotten into the world, he says, and let all the angels of the Most High worship him. So now you're saying that you're trying to say that the angels can do whatever they want to do outside from following what the Most High say they have to follow and do? Is that what you're trying to say? Because the angels, they got to follow the Most High, like everybody else. I can't even form my lips to say anything is more powerful than the Most High. But, you have those that's bringing forth the doctrines as we read in verse 1, false prophets and false teachers that's teaching certain things that are heresies. I ask you, show me the book of Enoch that they have, that you going by, that's in Hebrew, ancient Hebrew. Where's that at? Because look at let me see. Go to, let me find something, because I want to look at, because a lot of times, you know, y'all look at hell as a place in the earth all the time, but hell is a condition on earth too. You know, it's a hell. Hell is a condition right here on the earth, man. Understand, overstand this. This is real. Go to Isaiah 5. Isaiah the 5th chapter. Like, you know, you're catching hell. You got all these bills to pay. You're working like hell. You know, we be saying that. Look, listen. Isaiah 5:13. Say, therefore my people, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, are gone into captivity. See that? Most High's people are gone, who we are, the 12 tribes of Israel, are gone into captivity. Why? Because they have no knowledge. They don't know how to fear the Most High. To fear the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. And their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself, and opened her mouth, you know, without measure. A condition that we are in through the punishment, which is the judgment of the Most High, we just read in Psalms 147:19-20. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself, and opened her mouth without measure. I mean, we've been catching hell for a long, long time. That's why it says hell has opened her mouth without measure. And their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp, and he that rejoices shall descend into it. See? That's hell. Look at, go to 2 Samuel 22. 2 Samuel 22, the 22nd chapter. See, we sin because we the ones that got the laws. 2 Samuel 22:6. This is what King David said. He said, the sorrows of hell compass me about. He said, the sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. He said, in my distress, I called upon the Most High. In my distress, that's catching hell. When you're depressed, you sad, you're going through changes. That's hell. That's a condition where? On this earth, within ourselves. That's why he said, in my distress, I called upon the Most High and cried to my power. It's the only time the Most High have pity on us. He ain't crying to the Most High with no pride. He said, and cried to the Most High, my power. And he did hear my voice out of his temple. And my cry did enter into his ears. See. He said, then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations of heaven moved and shook because he was wroth. See. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also and came down, and darkness was under his feet. Well, you see the clouds. He rolled with the clouds. See dark clouds, and the clouds was under his feet. He moving with the clouds. And he rode upon a cherub and did fly, and he was seen upon the wings of the wind. And he made darkness pavilions around about him, dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. See. So, through the brightness before him were coals of fire kindled. See, the Most High thundered from heaven, and the Most High uttered his voice. His voice is like thunder. You hear that thunder? That's him talking. You know, and he sent out arrows and scattered them. Lightning and discomforted them. And the channels of the sea appeared. The foundations of the world were discovered at the rebuking of the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, at the blast of the breath of his nostrils. He sent from above, he took me. He drew me out of many waters. So he delivered me from my strong enemy and from them that hated me. This hell, to be delivered from your strong enemy and from them that hate you. That's hell. But they were too strong for me, he said. They prevented me in the day of my calamity, but the Most High was my stay. We stayed with the Most High. That's hell. Condition right here on this earth. When you're going through changes. Yeah. Go to Psalms. Book of Psalms. Um, 55. Go to Psalm 55. Look at this hell. Psalms 55. Here, give ear to my prayer, O Most High, and hide not thyself from my supplication, his crying, his sadness. Attend unto me. He's sad because he's in hell on this earth. And hear me. I mourn in my complaint and make a noise because of the voice of the enemy. Hear that? This is hell because of the oppression of the wicked. But they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. See, they say they cast the wickedness upon them, and in wrath they hated them. See, my heart is sore pain within me. That's hell. And the terrors of death are fallen upon me. This is hell. Fearfulness, that's hell. And trembling, that's hell. Are come upon me, that's hell. And horror have overwhelmed me, that's hell. Catching hell on this earth. Oh, I said, oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then would I fly away and be at rest. That's hell. Now you know he was catching hell. See? Just like we catching hell. When you read them curses, we cause it on ourselves. Because let me let you know something. Without a shadow of a doubt, like it said, we already read the angels gonna worship Mashiach Yahushai. That's why what did he do? What happened when he was in the flesh here? And Satan came to tempt him when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights. What happened? Was he able to overcome him? I don't think so. Was he? No, he rebuked him with the Most High's law. You see? The law is powerful amongst all entities. Look at Ecclesiastes 39 and 28 in the Apocrypha. Ecclesiastes 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. See, remember, you can never forget Psalms 104 and 4. He maketh his angel spirits, his ministers of flaming fire, which is bringing forth the word. When you read Jeremiah 23:29, it's not my word like as a fire and a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces. So there be spirits or angels that are created for vengeance. These are the same angels that's before him trembling. That's before him saying, holy, 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 faster than I can talk. Continually before the Most High. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. There be angels that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes, and in the time of destruction they pour out their force. These are the angels that the Most High made through a Mashiach Yahushua. You understand? As an angel, the first angel that he made, the first spirit that he made was the Mashiach Yahushua. Which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. The Most High made them. So they're going to appease the wrath of him that made them. They're following orders. In other words, fire is a spirit, and hell is a spirit or an angel. And famine is a spirit. A lot of y'all can't get the fact that the spirits are angels. The angels are spirits. But this is real. These are all spirits. Fire and hell and famine. I mean, I remember a lot of times you have a lot of fires in California. And the fireman was saying the fire was like it was alive. Fire would go to the edge of the freeway, and when you get to the edge of the freeway, wind would come and make a big circle, make a big fireball, and take that and lift it up and throw it on the other side of the freeway. Sometimes I've seen them go across the freeway, burning cars up, just going straight across the freeway. Wind just, that fireball make it just go straight across the freeway, burning up whatever they hit, and get to the other side, and keep on going, and burning over there on the other side of the freeway. Or it goes up in the air and goes into another neighborhood and falls down from the sky on houses and neighborhoods and so forth. That's how it is, because it's a spirit. But see, if you're not really understanding how this little bit of the Most High that he's letting us know, then what does it mean to you? But it is what it says. There be spirits that are created for vengeance of the Most High, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. Listen to what it says. They shall rejoice in his commandment. See, you got angels that are on the right side of the Most High. You got angels that's on the left side. That's why Mashiach Yahushua took his righteous seat back on the right-hand side of the Most High, the number one angel, the number one spirit that all the other angels got to worship, as we read in Hebrews, the 1st chapter, the 6th verse, right? So, and he's the only son that is an angel that would be considered the son of the Most High. That's what Mashiach Yahushua, as an angel, as the spirit of the Most High. You understand? But there's many spirits of the Most High. Like y'all say, the Holy Spirit, Uriel's a Holy Spirit. Gabriel's a Holy Spirit. You know, Michael is the Holy Spirit. Michael, Holy Spirit. And Raphael, Holy Spirit, you know? They're all Holy Spirits. It's just angels. Spirits, angels, same thing. Just put holy in front of it. Holy because what? They're going to do exactly what the Most High say do. Point blank. Now here it is. Verse 31 of Ecclesiastes, 39th chapter. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth. See, they're right here on the earth. When? When need is. When the Most High need them to do what he's going to do, that you hear he's going to do, they'll be right here on this earth. When need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. They're going to do exactly what he says to do. Verse 33 said, all the works of the Most High are good, and he will give every needful thing in due season. So all we got to do is just be locked into him, and everything will be all right. It's going to be all right. You know, so Most High have chosen people and brothers that been in certain situation of sin and worldly and dealing with things that the average person would say, how is he numbered around? That's what they're going to say. How is he numbered among the saints? That's what they're going to say. When salvation coming, because Psalm 94:16 said, who will rise up for me against the workers of iniquity? Who going to stand up for me against the evildoers and so forth? Who going to do it? Tell you what they're going to say. They're going to be shocked. when this go down. It's gonna be not him, not them. All the hell we catching. That's why it says, Wisdom of Solomon 5:1, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness in the face of such as afflicted him and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be filled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. So far beyond all they look for, right? And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirits that's in them shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes a derision and a proverb of reproach, proverb of disgrace. This too, the men of the Most High. We fools account this life madness, and its end to be without honor. That's why he call it, we in the judgment. Because we sin, therefore we paying for whatever we did in sin or what our forefathers did in sin. Like every other nation gonna have to pay for what their forefathers done too. Like we did. Or we can't say we the chosen. They more chosen than us. And you know you're not the chosen if you're not of the 12 tribes of Israel. Most High say he's the power of Abraham, who had a son named Isaac, who had a son named Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, and he became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. So you're not of the 12 tribes of Israel? He's not your power. And he's coming back to judge and make war. And everybody that's not of the 12 tribes of Israel going to be subjected to the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, 144,000 and the 12 tribes of Israel. Forever. Forever and ever. In a righteous kingdom. Because you're going to have a remnant of all nations that's going to be saved. Going to be redeemed. That's why I say this is what they're going to say when salvation is coming on this earth. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High? And his lot is among the saints. When the saints are the 12 tribes of Israel. Psalms 148:14 proves that. Therefore have we erred from the way of truth. The truth is, we got to sing it together. Psalms 119:142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So they say we erred from the way of truth. And the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us. And the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. Listen to verse 7. Very key. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. That's why you see all the things, this world is coming down. Because of their wickedness and destruction. They want to bring it down. Like Mashiach Yahushua said, if he ain't make the time short for the elect's sake, in Matthew 24:22, he said will be no flesh left. But before the elect's sake, he's going to shorten the time. The elect of the 12 tribes of Israel. This is what they're going to say. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Most High and Mashiach Yahushua, we have not known it. You see? So, this is what you're looking at when you're looking at these other nations and you're dealing with, you know, those that we the Israelites, when you go into, I've been into it many a times, you go into the Greek Empire, we were so forward in wickedness that we went to the king to ask for a license to sin. A license to sin. That's how wicked we were. You know, we want to join unto the heathen. When the Most High said, learn not to wear the heathen until this day, like, I'm telling you, I got 105 different identities of who we are as a people. You know, some of you say you don't believe this. Well, what's your nationality? If you look something like me, you got pigment and melanin. What's your nationality? Who are you according to this Bible? Gentile, or are you an Israelite? Who are you? 2 Peter 2:4. For if the Most High Spirit not the angels that sin, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them in the chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. So you're looking at people, when you go into, if you look at that lesson I did on heaven, hell, and the judgment, it's called Heaven, Hell, and the Judgment. It tells you what happened when you die. You know, so some people, they got to deal with this hell on earth. And some people got to deal with it once they die. They got to go into it. This hell. You see? And I was showing you how this darkness represented a condition of not knowing, being dumbed down. You know, our people don't want to know. What do they want to know? Do they really want to know what it's going to take to make it to the kingdom? Do they really want to know as much as they can know for the time that they have, that we have? I figure they have enough. You know? But look at Deuteronomy 32 and 28, 29. But they are a nation void of counsel. You can't tell them nothing. Void of counsel. Neither is there any understanding in them. How about us? Oh, that they were wise. Oh, that we were wise, he's saying. That they understood this. That they would consider their latter end. And he's screaming at us. For they are a nation void of counsel. You see? Neither is there any understanding in them. Oh, that they were wise. Oh, they would take on this wisdom, the proper application of knowledge. That they understood this. That they would consider their latter end. But no, that's why the Most High said, Proverbs 1:7. I mean, these are scriptures that you should know off the top of your head, because this is our people. Rebellious, stiff-hearted, stiff-necked, join themselves to BAAL, and they put it in the Bible as LORD, and they calling on him all the time, disrespecting the Most High. It ain't hard. It's just our people are rebellious. They in all ways, shapes, and form, and they want things to be so that they got this mystery things going on when it's real simple. Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. Be afraid to be scared of them. A lot of y'all don't even actually what the fear of the Most High is. You come up with all kind of explanation, except for to be afraid to be scared of them. When he said, I'm going to melt you, that's enough to be afraid of someone. We just read, we say, going to take straw. People going to be like straw, and they're going to be kindled in the fire. People going to be like straw and kindled in the fire. My Sheikh Shah just told you it's going to be so great tribulation in this earth like it's never been in this earth ever before. We in that time now. It's just escalating. It's like he told us, I've been saying it for a time. It's going to be like a woman in travail. When you start seeing it happening back to 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 back, real close, and then when it gets, so there's going to be like, ooh, all kind of things going to be happening. Then boom. They come after the wrong ones, and the Most High going to send my Sheikh Shah back. But it's going to be a lot of hell and tribulation. Like he said, if he make the time short, with no flesh be saved. They plan on killing billions of people. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and instruction. Remember, you can't tell them nothing. Like you just said, it's going to be the same thing over and over again, no matter where you go. Whatever scripture you go, it's going to say the same thing. They ain't going to deviate from this. He call you a fool if you can't be instructed. Nobody can tell you something, you a fool. That's how you recognize a fool. With all the things we dealing with. Proverbs 4. Proverbs 4:19. See, we was given everlasting light as the Adamites. And we chose death. We rather have, they just got, let's like, well, that's going to be in this one. Hey, look, they over there doing that. You up here, the family that's going to be all the things that we know that we done went over previously in my class. Second Ezra 15 chapter prophecy of the things that's going to happen, and other means that I've shown others saying about, it's to the point where they don't have any baby formula. They got aisles in stores where they got a mirror of food when the shelves are empty. But you walk by, you think it's food. No, it's just pictures of food. We in those times, y'all. The lack of bread and great tribulation. We in those times now. Proverbs 4:19. The way of the wicked is as darkness. You hear that? Remember he told Esau in Isaiah 47:5, said, let's go there. All praise the Most High right there. Sit thou silent and get thee in the darkness. That's what he told the Edomites. So-called white man. O daughter of the Chaldeans, which is the virgin daughter of Babylon. Babylon the Great, America's known as Babylon. But thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms, you see. So, it says, and when they went into darkness, Isaiah 60:2 says that they put the people in gross darkness, gross ignorance, gross not knowing. Because they come out of power into power, what do they know? From being in the Caucasus Mountains, that's the last region that they all lived in. Caucasus, that's why they call themselves Caucasian. So they came out and they started looking around of the known world that had been existing long before 1453, when they came out as the Ottoman Turks, to 1492, when they called a Renaissance period, to now. I mean, you gotta look at this. What was those so-called white men doing? And I'll make up a number. The year 1229 AD. 1305 AD. 1154 AD. Answer that question. You see what say? The way of the wicked is as darkness. So he told him to shut up and get into darkness, right? So the way of the wicked is as darkness. As I read Job 9:24 says, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He who is the wicked cover the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. They don't know what they stumble. That's why it says the way of the Most High and Mashiach Yahushua, they knew it not. We have not known it. You see, from this point to the time that salvation has come on this earth, majority, there's going to be a remnant of all nations, as I said, that's going to be able to go into their place in a righteous kingdom until the Most High bring the ultimate judgment upon a lot of these nations. Psalms 116. Psalms 116:3. The sorrows of death compassed me, this hell, and the pains of hell got hold upon me. I found trouble and sorrow. See, that's a condition. That's one part of hell. Us being on this earth going through what you see here. The sorrows of death compassed me. Somebody trying to put him to death. Remember, Saul was chasing King David. He said, the sorrows of death compassed me, and the pains of hell got hold upon me. I found trouble and sorrow. Then called I upon the name of the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. O Most High, I beseech thee, deliver my soul, deliver my spirit from the enemies. Gracious is the Most High, and righteous, yeah, our power is merciful. The Most High preserveth the simple. I was brought low. That's hell. To be brought low and you the king. And he helped me. Brought him up. That's hell. And that's the king. Return unto thy rest, O my soul, for the Most High have dealt bountifully with thee. But thou hast delivered my soul from death. That's hell. You seeing death. Mine eyes from tears. That's death. And my feet from falling. See? I will walk before the Most High in the land of the living, in the land of Israel, the land that the Most High loves. I believe, therefore have I spoken. I was greatly afflicted. That's hell, y'all. That's hell. To be greatly afflicted. Some of you must ain't went through a lot of affliction. And you that have been afflicted, you better understand. And hear what's being said. Darkness, man. Proverbs 28:5. Evil men understand not judgment. Evil men understand not judgment. But they that seek the Most High and his righteousness understand all things. You see? That's why when you look at 2 Corinthians, I think it is, First Corinthians 2, 1 Corinthians the second chapter, and verse 15. 1 Corinthians 2 and 15, it says, but he that is spiritual judges all things, right? Yet he himself is judge of no man, because if you spiritual, only way you're going to be spiritual is to keep the law, which is spiritual and good, so that man that is spiritual is going to be able to judge all things. Yet he himself should be judge of no man. That's why when you go over a few pages to 1 Corinthians 6 chapter, the first verse, it says, dare any of you having a matter against another go to the law before the unjust and not before the saints? You're going to call the police up before you try and counsel with the saints, the leaders of our nation? Do you not know that the saints shall judge the world? That's why a spiritual man going to be able to judge all things, it said. Don't you know that the saints, who are spiritual men, going to judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are you unworthy to judge the smallest matters? If the whole world going to be judged by us, are we unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Listen to what it said. Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? You know why? Because angels are on the right side, knowing what's right and righteous and pure and perfect of the Most High. And you got those on the left side that's made for those that do evil. Satan and his imps. Mashiach Shine his warrior angels and so forth. And Satan and his imps. Warrior imps. You know what I mean? Working for those that do negative or evil. Working with him. I mean, that's how it is. It's simple. This is not a hard thing to understand unless you just want to try and be rebellious. We went into that, how we are. So you can expect our people to be rebellious because it is written. Therefore, they're going to be just how they are. Go to the book of Jude. Jude 4. It says, for there are certain men crept in unawares, that came into the program of the Most High, unawares, trying to mix themselves in with we the family of the 12 tribes of Israel, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation. What did it say? Unrighteous men. See, unrighteous men, turning the grace of our power into lasciviousness. You see? Now these are the same men running around amongst us, having these same spirits that you had in the time of Adam. We were the Adamites. That's another topic. So they were turning the grace of our power, the Most High, into lasciviousness. You see? All kind of wickedness in their spirits. You name it, they claim it. And denying the only master power in our power of Mashiach Yahushua. So you see, but they chose to be in that role of acting with lasciviousness to be destroyed for coming amongst us and bringing forth their spirit of rebellion. Like when we came out of Egypt, same men, complaining, murmuring against Moses and Aaron. Telling Moses, who made you a God over us? When Moses then delivered us from Egypt, out of captivity. Who you think you are, Moses? Making yourself some kind of power. When the Most High made him as a power over Pharaoh. So we got brothers running out here the same state of mind as it was then, is now. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Most High, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. Destroyed them. Remember, he sent spies to go look at the land of Canaan. And they came back, they were scared. Oh, the Anakims, all the giants over there, they were giant people. Moses said, don't worry about it. 7 nations mightier and greater than us. So I'm taking them down, I'm giving you that land. The Most High word is what it is. Like right now, people trying to figure out what's going on. The Most High said what he said in prophecy. It's going to happen. His ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts. He's going to have it happen if he got to use the enemy or somebody that you would not imagine to do what he needs to get done. It's going to get done. Believe that. Understand this. You know. I mean, they rolling around with lasciviousness, just filthy, disgusting desires. You know, telling you to do whatever you want to do. And the Most High, he hates the sin that you do, but he loves the sinner, and that's contrary to the word of the Most High. Most High hate all sinners. That's why he say, Amos 9:10 says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. What does that mean to you? You gonna be saved from the sword by doing exactly what he say not to do? That's what we looking at. You know, are people that's doing wrong. So this is what it says. And the angels, you say he destroyed them that believed not, didn't have no faith in the Most High. He killed everybody. Came out of Egypt, he killed all the adults. It was 600,000 men that came out with our women and children. He killed all the adults, 20 years old up. He killed 599,998. You hear me? He only left Joshua and Caleb, but adults. They're the only ones who went into the promised land. And the children that we had in those 40 years, he made sure that he said, you're gonna roam this wilderness for 40 years till every last one of y'all die. That's what we serve. Having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, out of captivity, saved us out of captivity. All 12 tribes was in the Egyptian captivity. Afterward, destroyed them that believed not. After them destroyed, took 40 years to let us wander around in the wilderness to kill every last one of them, as I gave you the numbers. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he had reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. You see? And that's what we're dealing with. You know, being where? In darkness, you know, because that's ignorance. We went through that a lot. Need more, we can bring more. You know, our first estate, he gave us the land of Israel, and we chose to be like the heathen, and he kicked us out of our land. And that land is desolate. That's why I say it's the same thing like you see in 2 Peter 2 and 4. You see? Same thing. Reserved in everlasting chains under darkness, under ignorance, not knowing. Till the Most High opened up the books in Revelations till this happened. Till he opened up the books, listen. He opened up the books in Revelation 12 and 20 and 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High, and the books were open. And another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged, every man according to their works. And they were judged, every man according to their works. And they were judged, every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. So ain't gonna be no more death and hell. No need for that. No more hard times for us, the children of Israel. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. That's what this is all about. That our names could be written in the book of life. That your works, when you open up the books, that's being written, everything that we have done is being written in the books. And when they open them up, that's the judgment right there. That's why you look at Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High. Be afraid, be scared of him. He said, I'm going to melt you. Or your name going to be written in the book of life. You're going to be everlasting life. In everlasting life. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. That's what he say. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment. That's the judgment. That he have us, and kicked us out, and scattered us among all these nations, and he going to gather us and bring us into the judgment. For the Most High will bring every work into judgment. That's what we have done to these mortal bodies. With every secret thing. Ain't nothing hid from the Most High. His eyes 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of man, in the secret parts. Whether it be good, whether you kept the laws of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High, the statutes of the Most High, or whether it be evil, or you follow the way of the world. You love the world more so than you did the Most High. That's why we went to 1 Corinthians 4, 3, and 4. The power of this world have blinded the minds of them that believe not. Don't have no faith in the Most High. The judgment. Like the book's going to be open, and the judgment is going to be brought about by my big brother, Mashiach Yahushua. Ready for that? 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter. Go there. 2 Corinthians 5 and 10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Mashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. You see, knowing therefore the terror of Mashiach Yahushua, everybody think it's all love. Knowing therefore the terror of Mashiach Yahushua, we persuade men, but we are made manifest unto the Most High, and our trust also are made manifest in your conscience, the way you think. You could be ready for this judgment. You're working toward it. You see? So we the angels that didn't follow the laws of the Most High that he gave us, through Moses and the covenant, the contract that he gave to us, we had to deal with it. Captivity. He told you go to Deuteronomy, man, to tell you what he's going to do to us if we ain't keep his laws, statutes, commandments. Go back to 2 Peter's 2 and 4. For if the Most High spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, cast us down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. Hear that? Chains of darkness. What you think we in now? Heaven? Are we in heaven? Man, this is hell. You need more information on what hell is? Some of you might be in heaven. This might be your consolation right now. This is all she wrote for you. After this, the lake of fire. You know, because you don't want to come back to what it's going to take for your names to be written in the book of life. But you see what it says, 2 Peter 2 and 1, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Most High that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. See, y'all understand, if you don't fear the Most High, most people don't fear the Most High, they ain't afraid of him, they'll say or do whatever. They'll believe whatever.